mean, you could say even similar, like baptism, when John the Baptist was out, everyone's going, well, what's this all about? Even the Pharisees and the Sadducees came out to see the baptism of John the Baptist because it wasn't a thing before until God made it a thing. Now, I want to get more into the meat of this. Maybe you're still in Matthew chapter 16. I started off saying, God gives signs in the Bible. They're always explicit. They're always clear. Then there's other events where people seek a sign. Within that group of sign seeking, there's two reasons in general about the people who are seeking a sign. You have one group of people that literally won't believe anything they hear unless you could prove something to them factually. So I got to see something real. It's got to be special. You have to show it to me. It's kind of like the atheists. They're going to say, I'm not going to believe anything. You need to prove to me that God exists, and I need to see the proof of it, and I need to see all the evidence. You have that type of a person, and we see that person played out over and over and over again in Scripture, that ultimately it doesn't really matter even what they see. And them claiming, oh, show me this, or show me that, or show me this sign, it still won't matter what they see. They still won't believe. So those are the people who are just forever seeking a sign, and they're never going to be satisfied with anything that they see because they don't want to believe. They literally, no evidence is going to be good enough anyways, and they'll just reject it all. And then you have a second group of people who already believe, but they're seeking the sign for maybe the confirmation, a little bit of the direction, just to make sure that they're understanding things correctly and looking for that extra support from the Lord that, yes, this is right. But it's a completely different place in their heart on how they're seeking these things. So we started off in Matthew 16. The Pharisees and the Sadducees are the one who have witnessed already, especially by this time in Matthew 16, the miracles, the healings, feedings, all these things that are going on with Jesus, and they're still asking for a sign. Do you really think that if Jesus did one more miracle in front of them, that all of a sudden they're going to be like, yes, now I believe, now you've shown me that sign? No. These are the people that Jesus is talking to when he says, a wicked and an adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. Now, the sign of the prophet Jonas is actually a very significant sign as well. Turn back, if you would, to Matthew chapter 12, because he already talked about the sign of the prophet Jonas. Jonas is Jonah, by the way. Don't get screwed up with the spellings on some of these names, especially if you're looking at names in the New Testament that are quoted from the Old Testament, because the New Testament was written in Greek and the Old Testament was written in Hebrew. So when there's names that are referenced here, there's a variation of spellings because of the language that we're translating from Greek into English, we're translating from Hebrew into English. There's slight variations, but the names are the same. The people are the same. You don't have to worry about that or think, oh, there's a contradiction in the Bible because the name is spelled a little bit different, right? Joe in English is Jose in Spanish, right? It's the same person, though. So if you're going to call them one or the other, it's just the exact same name in that other language. Just because they didn't transliterate letter for letter the name doesn't mean there's any issue with the Bible being true or not. So, and also don't think that like, oh, well, it's a different person, right? It's not necessarily a different person.